I usually use metaphor work in client change work. And I've noticed that a lot of my clients metaphorically represent overthinking as being stuck. They feel like they're stuck in mud. Usually it's some sort of like thick texture. When really they're actually just not sure which step to take. Overthinking can feel like paralysis, and analysis can be really helpful. But at a certain point, moving forward requires action. You can't just constantly look and figure out which step to take. You actually have to take some steps in order to make forward progress and momentum in your life. So here are some things that have helped me and my clients as well. First, set a deadline. Avoid getting stuck in over-analysis by making sure that you have a deadline and you stick to it. If it's too far out, you're going to take forever. You're going to take that long to complete the goal. So break it down or make smaller deadlines, or say, I need to make a choice by Tuesday this coming week, and stick with that. Force yourself to do it, because you will find reasons to continue to think more if you don't have a clear, hard deadline. Next, gather relevant information. So not all information is the same. Some of it is more useful than other bits of information. So make sure that you actually know what kind of information you're looking for and what is going to be the most leverageable. And one way of doing this is to use the Pareto principle. Get the 20% of the information necessary in order to make the biggest jumps, the biggest leaps in understanding. And if you don't know how to do that, you can ask ChatGPT or some other form of research, or just think really hard about it for a little bit and say, well, what do I need to know in order to make a satisfying decision? Is it the cost, the time, the effort? I know this is a very vague statement because it depends on what you are overthinking about. I can't give you specific advice without knowing that, but I can go meta in this and say, if you leverage the important information, then you can make better decisions instead of trying to find, like, for example, if you're shopping for cat food on Amazon, well, you could shop endlessly and you could overthink the whole process. Or you could say, well, what do I need to know? And, is this healthy? What's the cost? And how does it compare to something else? And then stick with that. Just use that to make a decision, and you will be happier and you'll free up time to do other things, which that could be part of the reason why you are overthinking, because you don't want to focus on the other things. And next, consider different perspectives. Something that's helped me a ton is to use perceptual positions from neurolinguistic programming, or lateral thinking, Edward de Bono's work with the 6 thinking hats, if you've heard of that. Well, I've done that with cognitive functions and personality type as well. I have this set of 8 different characters that I use to bounce ideas off of and get different perspectives. Now, there's probably a higher leverageable way of just asking other people and getting advice from them, but also I'm under the idea that we all have all the resources, all the information necessary to make progress in our life and to make good decisions. We just need to allow ourselves to access those resources. And by imagining what would this adept, the science-y like character, think and advise me to do? What would the commander tell me to do? What would the mystic tell me to do? What would the explorer tell me to do? What would the soul tell me to do? What would an envoy, an ambassador-like character tell me to do? What would a guardian tell me to do? What would an adventurer tell me to do? Boom. I have 8 different perspectives that give me insight into different approaches to making the decision. Going through that process always leads to an insight, which I will connect up with the last point after this one here. Next, trust your intuition. Gut feelings are important. If you feel some sort of strong pull towards something, use that as a heavier weighted information point. And last, take action. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. We have to do things. We have to fail forward in order to make a lot of progress in our lives. If everything was smooth and easy and we never made a mistake, we would not learn very much. And so, with those 8 different perspectives, those 8 different characters that you can consult with, well, having that insight is great, but you do have to do something about it. You have to teach your body and your mind to take the actions necessary in order to live into the life that you want. Is it easy? No. But if it were easy, you wouldn't be watching a video on it, right? Remember that the key to overcoming overthinking is to recognize that you're not stuck there forever. That all you got to do is, lift your foot. Maybe there are some other things. Maybe there's an obstacle in the way and you got to go around it or over it. But you got to lift your foot. You got to take a step. You got to get moving and make momentum so that you can adjust and you can course correct as you are making progress. You can't steer a parked car. Doesn't work. So likewise, you need to be taking some steps towards your goal, towards the future that you want to live, in order to then course correct. And that's it. And if you want a deeper understanding of those 8 different perspectives that you can leverage for better decision making, you can go to geekpsychology.com, take the 8 hero personality assessment, and see which of your characters are the strongest. Which have you given the most XP experience to in your life? And you can leverage more of those. Listen to those characters a lot, but then also take in the insights and the perspectives of the other characters that you haven't spent a lot of time nurturing and giving gear and XP to. Hope it helps. Follow me for more. Good luck. Have fun. Peace.